until that new star establishes himself. So we'll just wait and see, but it's exciting.
What do you make of Itauma versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight. Dillian likes to fight. He'll have to tear up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't test this man's cojones. You know, he'll fight anybody and everybody. So with Dillian doing that, you think, you know what? You know, it's a good fight, good testing fight, and like, you know, he might be a gatekeeper.
I think if they keep winning, yeah.
He's got a great team around him, honestly, and you're only as good as your team, but I think he's got a really good team around him after being in the ring with him and studying him, still studying him now. I think that he's the one to edge it.
This is where the hype truly kicks in. The heavyweight scene is buzzing, and for good reason. Legends of the sport, past and present, are lining up to give their take on what could be one of the most fascinating British heavyweight battles in years. The young lion, Moses Itauma. Stepping up to face the battle-hardened veteran Dillian Whyte. The energy surrounding this matchup is split, but intense. On one side, the believers convinced that Itauma's rise is inevitable, and YT is just the next man standing in the way. On the other, the skeptics. Those who think the young star might...
Moses Itauma, what a top fighter, by the way. If you're not seeing him, what is he? I think he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
He was hoping to be the first, or the youngest heavyweight champ before Mike Tyson. I think he did at 19, so he's kind of missed the belt on that. He's a big puncher. He's got extremely high boxing IQ. He's just
be stepping into deep waters too soon against a fighter with YT's experience and grit. But whether you're in the youth will prevail camp or the experience will conquer camp, one thing is undeniable. Moses Itauma's name is on everyone's lips, and the old guard can feel the storm coming. When Carl Froch, a man who's been in world title wars and knows exactly what elite danger looks like, rates a fighter highly.
It was sparring the likes of AJ and Dubois in the gym. He used to go to the gym apparently in his school uniform. He was big from a young kid. He used to go and spar them boys. So, top fighter, unbeaten, what is it, 12-0?
12-0, yeah. Knockouts, 10.
10 knockouts, and this is a kid that really, you'd expect him to be one.
People listen. Froch doesn't throw compliments around for the sake of it. And when it comes to Itauma, he's not just impressed, he's warning YT. As Froch put it, Moses Itauma isn't just going to beat YT, he's going to absolutely outclass him and probably flatten him.
Oh, you know, I'm solely focused on Moses. He's a dangerous guy. He's got the confidence to ignorance. You know, he's explosive, he's knocking everyone out, he's beating guys up in sparring. That's one of the things that Manny was talking about when I first met him. I said, Doug, you gotta relax with the sparring, because if you keep beating up, you ain't gonna get no sparring. And people start judging me. Fortune, sparring, we're talking, he's knocking everyone out in sparring, he's doing this, he's doing that. So I'm focusing on it.
And in Froch's view, that could be the end of YT's career at the top level. What makes Froch's endorsement even more telling is that he's not basing it on hype or record-padding wins. He's seen the depth of Itauma's experience, the kind you don't often see in a fighter so young. Itauma wasn't just ticking boxes on the way up, fighting safe opposition and padding out a glossy, unbeaten record. No, he was being thrown into tough, high-level sparring with world-class names before most
distance ones, but I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get him in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. You know, he's a puncher. You've seen him do it, and he's done it.
Fighters even think about turning professional. That kind of baptism forces you to learn fast, adapt under pressure, and develop the predatory instincts that separate the good from the great. Froch sees it. Other pros see it. And that's why there's a growing belief Itauma isn't just another prospect. He's a future ruler of the heavyweight division. Even YT himself, never one to shy away from trash talk, admits the stakes are high. In a moment of rare candor, he said, "It's a big risk for both of us. For me, it will be more risky. He's 20. He can come again." That's not just respect. It's respect wrapped in caution. YT knows that Itauma isn't just explosive in the gym. He's the kind of fighter who can end your night before you've even warmed into the contest. And YT, for all his
changing until that new star establishes himself. So we'll just wait and see, but it's exciting.
What do you make of Itauma versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight. Dillian likes to fight. He'll have to tear up. You know, you can't test this man's cojones. You know, he'll fight anybody and everybody. So with Dillian doing that, you think, you know what? You know, it's a good fight, good testing fight, and like, you know, he might be a gate.
Experience and toughness has been stopped before. Promoter Frank Warren has been singing Itauma's praises for some time. He knows exactly how dangerous his young heavyweight is. That blend of speed, power, and composure is rare. But Warren also points out that this is a significant leap in competition. YT is not an idiot. He's been around the block, fought elite opposition, and knows all the veteran tricks. Warren's intrigue lies in one question: how will Itauma react when the fight goes deep, when he's hit clean, and when the pace becomes grueling? So far, Itauma has made those threats look ordinary. But YT, even in the twilight of his career, can still make opponents pay if they underestimate him. Johnny Nelson doesn't mince his words. He says, why?
If you can get guys out in the first and second round, then why not? Like, if anyone was to see how I train in camp, like for this fight, I've done one 6-rounder, two 6-rounders, two 8-rounds, and the rest have been.
YT loves a tear up and has never been afraid to take risks. But he also notes the reality. YT now carries the gatekeeper label. That's not meant as an insult. It's an acknowledgement of his position in the heavyweight hierarchy. The gatekeeper is the man you must beat to prove you belong at the elite level, and that's exactly why Itauma's fans are so excited. This is the kind of opponent who can legitimize a young heavyweight's arrival on the world stage. If Itauma bulldozes through YT, it's more than just a win. It's a statement that the old guard is falling, and a new era is here. YT thrives in back-and-forth wars. He's made his career on grit, pressure, and heavy shots. But Itauma's combination of speed, power, and composure could turn this fight into a one-sided showcase rather than a slugfest. Itauma isn't reckless.
Someone who I've always said to him, you will be a world champion one day. And maybe this is Dillian's moment as well to prove that he's still got it in the system, and that this is... he hasn't gone here for the, whatever they're calling it, the 2 million payday or whatever, how much he is getting for the fight.
Talk of dispatching YT within 2 or 3 rounds isn't empty bravado. It's rooted in the way he trains, 10-round gym wars, a relentless pace, and an attacking mindset. He's built to end fights early, but conditioned to go the distance. That's a dangerous blend, and YT knows it. Every time he eats a stiff jab or feels Itauma's thudding left hand, he'll remember those promises of an early finish. That kind of psychological pressure can force mistakes, especially against a young, hungry fighter who capitalizes instantly. Journalist Gareth A. Davies offers a different angle, suggesting this could be YT's last big chance to prove himself. He frames the fight as an opportunity for redemption, a way for YT to remind...
I think he understands the importance of this fight. I mean, what it means to him in his career. So, you know, it's all about now going out now, and it's like all about bullets and gun smoke.
Everyone, he's still dangerous. But boxing is unforgiving, and if this is the proving ground, it's a risky one. Itauma thrives against seasoned fighters who underestimate his ring IQ. He's dismantled opponents faster and more cleanly than many expected, and that's without even reaching his prime. Gareth hints at pride and legacy driving YT forward, but pride alone doesn't stop punches. If Itauma performs as his camp predicts, YT's legacy could take a devastating hit. Trainer Buddy McGirt boils it down to the essentials: mindset, grit, and willingness to go through hell to win. He likens the fight to a battle with bullets and gun smoke, where both men know what's at stake. For Itauma, the stakes are about breaking through to superstardom. For YT, it's about survival, relevance, and pride. And those are two very different pressures. Often, it's the man chasing...
Well, look, it's a good fight to make. Dillian Whyte's got the experience. He's also... he can punch, he's strong, he's a big unit. But can he negate the speed, the power, and the ferocity of this young heavyweight coming? And he gives angles. He's a good boxer as well. So that's the thing. You've got experience against somebody who's up and coming that hasn't been tested yet, because he's so sharp, so deadly with his
in glory, who's willing to take bigger risks than the man protecting what little he has left. Peter Fury nails the heart of the matchup. Seasoned power versus youthful precision. YT is strong, heavy-handed, and full of tricks, but can he handle Itauma's speed, angles, and relentless intensity? Fury praises Itauma's sharpness and deadly skill, noting that he won't just stand in front of YT waiting to be hit. He'll pivot, create openings, and punish every mistake. And when you combine that with knockout power, even veterans struggle to survive. Experience matters, but only if you can apply it. If YT can't solve Itauma's movement and timing, that experience will mean nothing. When Derek Chisora, a man who's fought everyone, tells you don't put him to sleep that badly, it's more than banter, it's respect. Chisora knows.
Jim was like, listen, I don't know why you're taking that fight, for what reason. And he goes, oh, he don't care, you know, my friend, you know. So I was like, listen, just be careful. And I messaged Moses, I'm like, Moses, just fight him, but don't put him to sleep that.
Knows what it's like to face destructive power, and he's warning YT accordingly. The most telling part, Itauma doesn't care about names or reputations. He's not in awe of veteran opponents. He sees YT as just another obstacle between him and the top of the division. Tony Bellew takes the praise even further, predicting that no one's going to beat Itauma. Coming from Bellew, a man known for being blunt and honest, that's huge. Bellew points to Itauma's ability to adapt his weight and approach for each opponent, a sign of maturity beyond his years. YT's style is fairly predictable. Come forward, throw heavy shots, and rough you up. Itauma can fight inside, outside, switch rhythms, and maintain power while being faster. Bellew's confidence isn't blind fandom. He sees a complete fighter in the making. Adam Smith sums up the intrigue perfectly. This fight has the unpredictability that makes boxing irresistible. Itauma could blow through YT as he's done with
no one who's going to beat him. I just think technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed the actual feet down because Daniel Dubois.
Others, or YT's experience could make him a tougher challenge than expected. Both have something to prove. For Itauma, it's that he's inevitable. For YT, it's that he's still relevant. That's why, beyond the trash talk and predictions, this feels like a changing of the guard moment. When the bell rings for Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte, it's more than just a fight. It's a crossroads for the heavyweight division. For Itauma, it's a gateway to superstardom, the kind of win that catapults you into world title conversations overnight. Every punch will be about proving he's not just the future, but the present. For YT, it's survival. Years of wars, title shots, and big nights have taken their toll, but he's clinging to relevance, hoping to show there's still fire left in the tank. If Itauma wins in the devastating fashion he's promising, it could mark the official passing of the torch.
I think he's very, very good, Moses Itauma. So some people might say he'll get rid of Dillian Whyte like he has the others. Maybe not. Maybe Dillian's too much for him at this stage, which is why it's...
But if YT shocks the world, it would be one of the great late-career resurgences in British boxing history. This isn't just about belts or rankings. It's about pride, legacy, and who's willing to go furthest into the fire to win. So the question is simple. Are you backing the young lion Moses Itauma to dominate and close the chapter on Dillian Whyte? Or do you believe YT still has one last big night left in him?